thought it was going to be trumpets, but no. It's just a joke about trumpets.
A joke about trumpets. All right. Was that the joke?
That's it. It's the anti-joke. It's like...
Okay.
Yeah.
It's,
Look, man, it's been a week. I'm off form. We just had the we literally got in the recording thing, and I was like, hang on, be right back. And I went off. I was just like, I was gone for like 20 minutes? Came back.
Well, what you sent to me was going to piss in recording, be right back. And then you were gone for a solid fucking 10 minutes. Like, there's no way.
I lied to you. I just ran off and did a gargantuan shit. Came back and I was like, yep, this is it. This is, by the way, the best intro we've ever had to a podcast, by the way. Audience is like, what?
We are not even a full minute in, and we're already making jokes about shit, like toilet humor.
Poo and fart jokes.
Not even a minute recording.
That's our staple. Yeah.
Well, and look, we're Australian, so I feel like that's mostly what we have.
I was watching a Russian Badger video the other day, which, by the way, his stuff is phenomenal if you've not seen his stuff. And he makes a joke where he says Australians are just British people that have got really far into their skill trees. And yeah. And then Martin Copping, who's the voice actor for an operator in Rainbow Six called Mozzie, says, "Yeah, we leveled up through crime. That's how we did it." It's really, really good.
Like RPG characters that there's some of those games have like no level cap. They just let you level forever. So you just start putting levels into all random fucking skills that you don't even use, and your character starts to look like they know nothing about something really basic. Like, do you know how to use a two-handed sword? Nah, not at all. But I can do like all this other random fucking shit. My unarmed skill, I can punch a bear to death. Like in 2 punches.
Well, that's another bloody Russian Badger joke. He says, "Do you reckon they stopped selling 4 Locos because they let you respec all your skill points into strength?" For those of you listening that don't know what a 4 Loco is, it was this beverage that used to be, it was an energy drink with alcohol content, right? Like 12% alcohol content.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's
I've heard the name before, but I don't know what the fuck they are.
It was like a Jaeger bomb in a can, basically, and
oh, good.
It was like commercially available. You could buy it; it would like mess you up. But I think they've since been made unavailable. But the joke being is that
I would think that the heart attack drink would definitely be made unavailable eventually. Like, yeah.
So the joke that you lose all your intelligence and, charisma and all of that and just respec entirely into strength with alcohol and energy drinks makes sense.
Oh, fucking hell.
It was a really good one. Got me good. In any event, welcome to NULLSCORE, a podcast where we straight up missed a week because we keep appointments about as well as Australian Prime Ministers after 2007. My name is Hamish, and political jokes are not my forte, but this is my co-host, John Howard. How was it being the Prime Minister before we garnered a reputation for overthrowing our own government as frequently as a third world dictatorship? Holy shit.
Oh, mate. It was a time. My eyebrows were on point. We destroyed Pauline Hanson.
Boys explode.
Brought in GST. That was a time.
That is a time. That is a time. Holy moly!
Oh, fucking
that was an
John
intro,
Howard.
dude.
Jesus Christ!
That was an intro.
Did you do that in one breath?
Yeah, I did.
I don't usually do that. I take the breaths in between the sentences really quick.
No. This is my moment, and I will stay until I am done. So we have a bunch to talk about because we missed a week last week, and it really wasn't for any like. I hesitate to say good reason, but we basically just missed it because. I think the Saturday you had something going on, and then it was like, yeah, let me know Sunday, and then I just never let you know.
Well, I was like, can we push 2 hours? And you're like, yeah, okay, no worries. So we pushed 2 hours, and I left where I was and went home, and then you were like, all right, just give me a bit. And I was like, all right, no worries. I was waiting, and you're like, oh, I'm just doing grocery shopping. I'll be back soon. I was like, dude, no, I have to
Yeah, you
I
got stuff
can't
to do.
now. I had something else that I got called away for, so I couldn't wait.
That's
so that's
right.
my fault.
Yeah.
I pushed it out, and then when you were like, I'm going to be a little while, I said, all right, I can. Now I can't wait because I have somewhere else I need to be.
Yeah, we were just
And
doing
then,
stuff.
It was meant to be Sunday. We are like, do tomorrow then? Like, yeah, no worries. And I remember saying, just send me a message what time you want to do it, and I'll make sure that I'm home. And then I did not hear from you.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't hear from you the whole Sunday.
Yeah. I've had a lot of work going on recently. So, like, my office is infamous for staff turnover, and it's nothing to do with, like, the office itself. It's more so just the region. Like, a lot of people that come out here are young people that come out to basically cut their teeth and then move out somewhere else.
Yep.
Like, it's not a play. Like, you have to be pretty, like, a rough cut person to sort of settle down here and kind of get used to it. Like, to paint you a picture, it's a town of 20,000. It has one of the highest crime rates per capita in Queensland, but it doesn't have a dry cleaner, which at first glance you might be like, yeah, okay, so what? But, like, none of the surrounding towns have a dry cleaner either. So all of your suits and stuff that you use for, like, random stuff never get cleaned, which would be fine if you're a physio that worked in polos or whatever, or you were a freaking miner. But if you're a lawyer, this is a massive issue.
It's a problem, yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get your suit cleaned.
Yeah, so ordinarily you can get stuff that's like trousers that are like machine washable, which is great. But like jackets and all sorts of stuff, they don't get dirty as fast, but you still want to try and clean them because especially in a hot environment, you'll like sweat through your shirt into your jacket. So that, for example, is just like, it kind of just paints you a picture of like, it's not a great place to settle down because there's like some parts aren't missing, which makes your life difficult, and you could just have an easier life elsewhere. So people move. Like it's not
okay. So
yeah.
What you're saying is like I don't need to imagine any of this. You remember I've talked about where I grew up.
Right.
before.
Yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll tell you the stats of Corryong. In 2016, the 2016 census.
Yes.
Population. Have a guess. Have a guess how many people were there.
Look, I'll go 10K.
10,000?
Yep.
Way too many.
Way too many. Okay. 3,000.
Cut that in half and then less.
Less than 1,500 people.
1,348.
Wow.
That would be the town as well as like all the little, because it stretches out. It's like a country town. It's fucking spread out.
The surroundings.
Yeah. And technically I lived actually like 15, 20 minutes out of town in a different place. It had another fucking name. But this was like, if you were going to say the closest actual town, this was it. This was the place. 431 kilometres northeast of Melbourne, 120 kilometres east of Wodonga. That was the closest sort of anything.
Wow.
Wodonga, Albury-Wodonga area. 120
Jeez.
Ks. But see, people think, 120 Ks, that's not that far. Like that's an hour and a bit driving. No. A lot of those roads are shitty and you can only do 60 Ks. 60 Ks.
That's like, a 2 hour
It's
drive.
longer than an hour.
Yeah, no, you can, there's pretty, like, I don't know how to phrase it. It's like, it's not a bad way to live, but there are
you have
better
to
ways.
accept that there are a lot of things you do not have easy access to. If you want to buy a new TV, if your TV dies, you want a new TV, that's half a day or possibly a full day.
Yeah.
That's not, I'm just gonna shoot off to Kmart in the morning and sort out a new TV. I'll be back, I'm gonna leave about 8:30. I'll be back by like 9:30, something like that. I'll be just in and out. No, you'll be going at 8:30 and you won't be getting back until after lunchtime at best. And that's if you go in, find the exact TV you want, buy it and get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're in there for any length of time looking at the different TVs and A/Bing them and talking to the salesman, you're going to be getting back in the afternoon with your new TV.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, my point being is that the office has a very high turnover just because of the nature of the place, right?
Yep.
And as a result, one of the guys
People don't want to live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, one of the guys that's been there the longest is actually he's retired, hung up his spurs. as it were. And so all of his files were distributed amongst the office.
Good country town reference.
Yeah. And
hung up his Spurs.
Yeah. And now we're dealing with that workload. So until we hire someone...
I'm picturing a fucking gunslinger lawyer now. Like, rides into work on his horse. Rides it into the courtroom.
Not guilty.
Fuck that.
It comes in, pushes open the saloon doors. Objection. So he's all done. So now we're cleaning up all of his file load, because obviously you can't close every single file before you leave. So I've been pretty under the pump lately. In fact, I think today my plan, like this morning I was trying to record YouTube footage. I don't know how impressed I am with it. We'll see later. And then I've got to, we're here, obviously, I'm recording podcast, and then I am going to go to a friend's house and help them set up a microphone and a webcam for them. And then I am probably going to go into the office for a couple of hours and just clean stuff up. Because, I don't know if you've ever done this in your job, but, you get behind, but just, with, shitty admin stuff. So I go in on a weekend, I go in for an hour or two, just get ahead of all the admin stuff. And then the rest of my work is a lot easier. The rest of the week goes smoother. I don't know if you've ever had that.
I know what you're describing, but my work is an hour away from home. So I absolutely do not go in there on a Saturday and get anything done. No,
but you might do a Monday and you might get all of the annoying stuff down right at the get-go. And then the rest of your week is just...
I usually do overtime. I used to get there early. I used to go in early so that no one else was around to come and harass me, and I could just smash through a bunch of fucking paperwork first thing.
Yeah. So same thing. It's just the time frame is a little bit different.
Now I just lock the office. I legitimately lock the office up so no one can walk in and annoy me. I turn the lights off so it looks like no one's there, and then I just sit there hidden in the corner and do paperwork. There's like a wall that sort of blocks where my desk is between me and the window outside, and if I sit at the right angle, the monitors block my head, so no one can see that I'm in there. And I just sit there and fucking do the paperwork then. Fuck you guys.
Nice.
No one's coming in asking me to do shit.
Yeah. Employee's so good, he's working even when you don't know he's working. So I have been still on break from the Twitch stream. So I had two goals. One was get into YouTube. The other was get into the gym. The gym was the primary one. Unfortunately, the gym has not been going so well. I've not been able to get in, mainly due to the workload at work. However, there's a big challenge thing starting tomorrow, which both me and my mate are going to get involved in. So that's going to be nuts. That's at least, 5 to 7 sessions a week. So that'll be pretty cooked. And then they've got food and stuff that they'll pre-prep for you. So I'm going to look into that as well. But YouTube-wise, I did a whole bunch of recording, did a whole bunch of editing in advance. And it's very different from my usual stuff. Some of it's Let's Play content. Some of it's me chopping stuff together, whatever. But first video did okay. It was an Among Us video. It ended up getting 90 views, and it's just steadily been falling since to today, where I had a video come out Saturday, got 13 views. And I was like, ooh, rip. So I don't know whether it's a situation where people just aren't ready for it. It's also just a mess of content. I'm just trying a bunch of new shit and seeing what I like doing. But
you pushing it out too quickly, are you shoving out too much content too quickly and not taking time to polish it a bit? Or do you think it's just that people are getting burnt out on seeing you push something out too often?
I don't know yet. I mean, we'll see.
Because your streams can be the same way. If you take a break from streaming, when you come back, your first 1 or 2 streams might be kind of big. And then after that, it starts to fade off. People are like, all right, well, he's back now, so I can catch him anytime. Hamish is pushing out videos every 2 days. I don't have time to watch them right now. I'll just catch up on them in a week or two's time. People will do stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they also are there's less, like they're lower effort videos. The editing is not as, it's not as.
They don't know that until they watch it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess every time you do that and they watch one of those videos, the next one they're going to be like, well, it's just like the quality's not what it used to be. The last video was a bit underwhelming. I'm just not going to watch this one. I'm not going to, like, even if it's only like 5 minutes, people will go, oh, I'm just not going to waste my time. Like, dude, 5 minutes, like.
Yeah.
I'm
thinking.
It's not that much.
Yeah, I'm thinking what I'm going to have to do is probably just like slow it down a little bit, but look at what works and what doesn't work. Because I have all these ideas, like I write scripts for videos. This kind of doubles back into another thing that I want to talk about later, which is Hades. But
okay.
I did up a whole video for Hades. I had a script ready to go. It was kind of like a review intro to Hades for people that hadn't played it. I'll explain what Hades is in a second, dear listener. So just trust me. It's like a new roguelike game that, well, it's not new, but it came out. Oh, fuck it. I'll explain it now. So Hades is a roguelike dungeon crawler. It was in early access for forever. And then very recently came out on full release. It hit version 1.0. So it was in early access for like a year. Made by Supergiant, who are the same guys that made Bastion. I don't know if you ever played Bastion.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, but they have a very specific style, and they knocked it out of the park with this one. Hades is incredible. The gameplay is really, really smooth. It's very, very fast. The narrative is very well done, because one of the parts where roguelikes kind of fall over is story. Because how do you reasonably explain somebody dying over and over and getting further and further each time? Like, how do you make that work? The way that they did it is they made them immortal. So gods can die and resurrect, and everybody knows this. And so they are able to push a story through that mechanic. But it's fantastic. It's been getting heaps and heaps and heaps of really, really good reviews. And I was going to do an intro vid about it, but then everybody else did an intro vid. And so I was like, oh shit. All right. Well, then I'll do a tips video. And then I was like, well, like, I've never done a Hades video before. If I do a tips video, it's not going to make any sense. And so the script ends up sitting in my friggin' desktop and I never touch it. And I think it's one of the problems that I have as a creator myself is it's like this weird balance between I want to make really good shit, but I want to make really good shit that...
I think there was a way around that, that maybe this is where we don't think the same way, those kind of things. Like you're very linear with that stuff. You're like, all right, I have to do this and then this and this or else it won't make sense. Whereas if that was me in that position, you're like, I want to make a tips video. I was going to make an intro video. Heaps of people have already done it. I would go watch a few of them and then still make the tips video and just start it by saying, I realized I didn't make an intro video. I was fucking too slow on the draw. All these other guys have already done them. Here's 3 or 4 really fucking good ones. Go watch them first, then come back and watch this tips video and then launch into the rest of whatever the fuck you wanted to do. You don't have to do everything, you know? You can just do the stuff that you want to, man. Like if you're not, like if you don't want to do it or someone else has already done it better and you don't think that you can make something good enough that you would feel, okay with having it out there, then don't. Just do the stuff that you want to do that you know you can make quality and let someone else handle the other bullshit.
Because I play a lot of Hades. Hades is a game that I play when I'm rendering and doing stuff like that. Because it's a low resource game and it's not online.
Yeah. So it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe not when I'm rendering, but if I'm uploading or doing other stuff like that, I will generally play Hades. And I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty far into the game. I'd probably say that I'm at the point where I have 150 hours, something like that. So I'm. It's a fantastic game. Hades. If you haven't seen it, play it. Maybe you'll see a tips video from me in the future. But yeah, the YouTube stuff, I think I'm enjoying having the time. I need to figure out how to YouTube. I need to work out how to YouTube. Not streaming has been strange. there are some days where I'm like, man, I really wish I could like go up and stream today. But then I'm like, no, commit to this course of action for a little bit. Because there are certain skill sets in streaming that are different to YouTube. And I have the skill sets for streaming, but not so much for YouTube.
Well, you had a schedule for streaming, didn't you?
Yeah, it's force of habit.
Do you have a schedule for your YouTube content creation?
Not really. I kind of just make stuff and then I'll either put it together.
That's probably where I'd start.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'd start, man. Have like this day I'm going to record this footage for this game, and this game, maybe like, 3 or 4 hours of just recording footage.
Yep.
And sort through it. Another like the next time you sit down, whatever day that is that you've scheduled, you sit down and sort through it all. Yeah. Then next time you sit down and edit the fuck out of everything. Maybe it takes you 1 or 2 sessions of editing. Then you have your 2 or 3 plus videos that you can release on a schedule throughout the next week.
Yeah.
And that's probably how I would handle it.
I mean, that's a way to do it.
Having said that,
yeah, I mean,
sometimes I fucking don't even have the podcast, which is one video that has very light editing, not even out on time. So
yeah, the gap between theory and execution can sometimes be very, very wide.
Yeah.
The other thing I think a lot of people don't realize is the ratio of time spent recording to publication. Like the way that I kind of look at it is it's about a 1:5, 1:6 ratio. So if you see a creator playing a game, right, you watch a video, it's 10 minutes long. And let's say that they rip that footage from an hour of footage and condensed it to a 10-minute video. You're looking at about a 1:6 ratio. So for every hour that they played the game originally, you're looking at about 6 hours of post-production. That's editing, uploading, rendering, titling, distribution, yada, yada. It takes a while. Like sometimes if I have like a Let's Play, it's far shorter than that. It's like 1 to 3, 1 to 4. If I send it to George, it's even less than that. But
yeah, because you're not doing any of that.
Well, I don't have to do any
that second
editing,
number
yeah.
isn't really affecting you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking, I've got to find a rhythm for what I like doing, what I like making. Because I like going back and rewatching the Who Is videos. I went back and rewatched those the other day. They were quite funny. I say funny, but it's very narcissistic to say, but I really enjoy watching those videos. Like I'm proud of those videos.
Yep.
Some of the edits in the Runeterra videos I really liked. A lot of the stuff that I've spent time on and made really well, I think maybe I'm proud of it. Like it's like some sort of stitched together Frankenstein bullshit toy. Like it's some horrible, horrible macaroni frame abomination. But I'm there like a proud dad, like, yeah, good
like
job.
Like an 8-year-old that's just had a massive tub of like Connects or Lego and they've made this fucking stupid thing. You're like, fuck yeah, look at this dumb tank I made. Yeah, look at all the guns on it.
A great example is the Granny Simulator video. that video's a mess. It's a mess.
It's a mess, but they're still entertaining. Like I still think they're funny.
Yeah, I love them. They're really good. If you haven't seen those, that's a video Titan and I did, oh God, a long time ago now. I would wait
over a year ago.
They might be a year or older. Yeah,
older. Because I was still in the house right next to the train station.
Wow. So yeah,
which is what's that? Like April or May last year, maybe.
Here we go. How to punt a child like a football. May 4th, 2019.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Yeah, there you go. And that's it. And then we had the there's the one where you try to enter the lobby name. And then I did the fucking typing.
Typewriter.
Ah, that's a good, man. I think maybe I need to make videos like that again. Maybe I'll need to talk to George and see what's up with that. Because Rogue Company, I think, would be a good one to do it for. Like you mentioned before with the dock skins. What else would be good? Warface.
I hate like third person stuff, but at the same time, like, that just seems to be the way that a lot of these shooters are going. Like
some of them.
And that ties into something that I wanted to talk about later. But yeah, like Rogue Company looks like a lot of fun. I'm just so annoyed that it's third person. Like, it's supposed to be competitive. Third person isn't competitive. I don't think anything that lets you peek around, not expose yourself and peek around a corner.
I mean, Fortnite's an example.
Yeah, I've seen arguments that like, well, Valorant has skills that let you see where an enemy is. Yes, but they're temporary. It's a temporary thing. It's only for however many seconds. It's not sit behind a wall and use the camera to see
third person
what's happening.
Third person lets you peek safely. That's the that's
constantly.
That's
perpetually just peek safely.
Yeah, that's the major difference between that and first persons, is you can peek safely. And you could like wind up a throw or something like that with current information.
Yep. Yeah, it's just not. I don't care, man. I play plenty of third-person games and they're fun, but like third person, I think belongs in adventure games where you're playing as a character and you want to see them do cool stuff. It doesn't belong in competitive shooters.
I'll tell you what was really,
just my opinion.
I'll tell you what was really interesting. There was did you ever play Splinter Cell Blacklist?
No.
Okay. So the Splinter Cell games have a special place in my heart. I love them. And Blacklist did something very, very interesting, which was a game mode called Spies vs. Mercs. Have you heard about this?
No.
So the idea was, in the campaign, when you're playing as Sam Fisher, Splinter Cell's a third-person perspective game. Because you're skulking around in a building or climbing on poles or whatever and taking people out silently and stealthily, very methodical, right? That's the whole, like, Splinter Cell's a stealth game, right?
Yep.
But at one point during the campaign, you play as Sam's assistant, like, operator, who's called Briggs. And when you play as Briggs, it actually switches to a first-person perspective. So you have a silenced M4, and you, like, move through crouching and taking out guys. And some of the mechanics are lost in that, you know, you can't, like, put your shoulder up against the wall and pull a guy down, right? Like, it just doesn't functionally work with the first-person shooter. But it was interesting enough, right? Like, it let you cap people with extreme accuracy at range because you could, you know, aim down sights. And he could sprint with certain levels of accuracy. It was very interesting, right? They had a multiplayer game mode where Spies had the same camera angle and skill set as Sam, and Mercs had a first-person perspective and skill sets similar to Briggs from the campaign. So you literally had third-person perspective operators fighting up against first-person perspective Mercs, right?
Yep.
The thing was, if the Mercs saw you, you were dead. Like, if you're a spy and a Merc saw you, you just get laser gunned. Because I'm pretty sure it was like a 3-hit kill to the chest or something like that. So if they saw you, you were Gonski. But, of course, the Spies, being a Splinter Cell game, could drop from the ceiling and kill you with a karambit knife, right?
Yeah.
So it created a pretty interesting dynamic. I don't know how it went for balancing in Pro Scene, but that takes it one step further, right? In that the first-person shooter has like a certain competitive element. Third-person
was there a Pro Scene for that? I feel like there wasn't.
No, there wasn't. But it was a very, very interesting game mode. Very, very cool. I think the only one where I've seen third-person gameplay done well in a multiplayer setting, aside from, like, I don't know, Fortnite, PUBG, and shooters, is Assassin's Creed. They had a multiplayer game mode, which was heaps of fun. Really, really cool. I very much enjoyed it. But, you know.
I think you've talked about it before, and you've asked me if I played it, and I never did.
Bro, it's a hidden gem. It is a hidden gem. It is so good. We should, if we ever like the old Assassin's Creeds, if they ever come on sale, which I think they probably will with Valhalla coming out soon, we should get a group of the boys together and just play a private lobby with the old Assassin's Creed memes. I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be so good.
I'm just not. I don't know. I fell off those games after Assassin's Creed 3. I finished that game. I tried to play Black Flag. I was like, fucking, where's all the story stuff outside of this? I don't really care about this guy. Where's Desmond? And they just stopped
We
caring.
talked about this on a previous podcast about how the writers had to salvage the fucking story.
I think I played about 15, 20 minutes of Black Flag, and then I lost interest and never went back to it. which apparently I missed out on a really fun game, but also I just didn't care. Like I don't feel like I missed out. It's more like I had plenty of other games to play instead, and they were more enticing than that game, so I just didn't bother to.
Yeah, Black Flag was kind of like the last bastion before Assassin's Creed games got really strange. Yeah,
repetitive. Shitty.
Well, they got into the RPG meme after that. Like I mean, they kind of had it with Black Flag because you had to, pilot ships and stuff, but enemies didn't have health bars from memory.
I don't know. Did they ever have health bars? Like bosses and shit maybe did, but yeah. That's what I'm confused. I thought you meant they used to and now they don't. I was going to say I don't ever remember them having.
No, they used to not, and now they do. Talk to me about this PUBG stuff.
Rip.
What's going on?
Well, mate, it is. What's going on is clearly PUBG Corp hate first-person players because.
What do you mean PUBG hates first-person players? Isn't that what their pro scene's based on?
If you go to if you go to Q in OC,
right?
I think third person has. I don't know whether they have solos, duos, and squads, but first person only has squads. No solos or duos.
Okay, well that sort of sucks, I guess.
Ranked in OC has one queue only. What do you think it is?
Well, I'm assuming it's got to be third person, right? That's what you're trying to say?
Third person squads only.
Wow. So the ranked game mode for PUBG only allows you to play third person,
which is arguably the less competitive of the two. It's the more casual play mode. That's why it's so popular. Lots of people don't want to stress about playing the game. They want to have fun.
That's nuts.
And third person is easier.
That's nuts.
So ranked is third person.
Jesus. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
I understand maybe pushing everyone towards squads, I guess. Like, kind of sucks. You can't just play by yourself and come up against.
I don't, because so queue times, that was the argument. Queue times are too long, blah blah blah. They added bots for that. They added bots to pad it out, so we don't have to worry about queue times. It'll just allow people to join as many people. Like whatever it joins, then it's on a timer, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but if you had to pick between the two solutions, between bots and squishing the queues, what would you pick?
Bots, absolutely. Sometimes I just want to play duos or solos even. I just want to run around by myself. Duos is my favorite game mode. Yep. I like playing duos above anything else. But I've played plenty of solos, man. Like especially in the last month and a bit or whatever, because no one was around, or I just wanted that intensity of knowing that if I lose this fight, that's it. You're out and you have to re-queue. I won plenty of solos, and not just like it was on SEA because that's where the auto thing puts me because I have lower ping to Singapore. But I had plenty of matches where I had, fucking 9 to 14. I think 14, 15 was like the most that I had. And it was majority players. There was a match where I had 11 kills and it was all players. I didn't come across any bots. So if there are enough players to run these matches properly, why the fuck do we have to lose the queues? They don't want to pay for servers, I would say.
It's pretty wild to see PUBG slowly it's kind of like a slow death almost.
They're doing it to themselves though. Like they're crippling, they're shooting it in the leg over and over and over. Like
it's nuts. I think maybe it's just Oceania. Like we don't have enough people playing games.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. But it's just so strange to me. So
we need better internet. What have we got? So government, more internet to make more nerds.
Our two options in OC. Third person, we have solo, squad, and squad ranked, and first person, squad only. SEA, which is the other one that I can get to. Third person, solo, duo, squad, solo ranked, squad rank. First person has squad, solo rank, squad rank.
Jesus. Well, there you go.
But last night when I tried to do solo rank, it wouldn't let me. So maybe because I'm not at the old place. I'm at the new temporary place now. So I
New
think it's,
temporary place.
Yeah, I'll only be here for a couple months or so.
Oh.
Or I move again closer to work.
Is why you moved out podcast friendly or?
Maybe. Not really.
Maybe we'll have a chat about it on podcast.
I've told you about my roommate before, haven't I?
Yeah, he was bad at closing doors. Look,
he was. Look, I'm pretty sure the reason that he left all the doors open and the fucking garage door halfway open and the cat shut in my room the entire day was because he seemed a little bit affected by something. Not quite sober, but not alcohol. I just wasn't interested in having thousands of dollars worth of equipment sitting in the house with that bullshit going on around it. When I'm not home, I would rather just move all that shit somewhere else and then move out of that house before any further incidents occur.
Right. So he's doing his best to air out the place. Get rid of the smoke smell.
Oh, yeah. Well, smoke? I don't know about smoke. Look.
Oh. Okay.
I think it might have been a bit, no, look, he didn't have bloodshot eyes, but he was like shivering and sniffing a lot.
Ah, yes. So keep him away from the freezer, perhaps.
Yeah, of course.
Keep him away from the freezer. No sub-zero hydrogen dioxide in this house.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I decided to just move out because I couldn't be bothered. The trouble that I would have had to go to get him out and then get someone else in,
and also recover all your gear from cash converters.
Well, yeah, if it ended up at a cashies, yeah, that was another concern.
Yeah, god damn.
Which I could do because I have all the boxes and like serial numbers for everything that I own. But that is so much fucking trouble, and I've worked at a cashies for 3.5 years, ages ago, so I know the fucking process, how slow and drawn out, and just I would end up having to go to court multiple times to get my things back. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I just want to have my things and keep them.
Yeah, no, yeah, you don't want to do that.
For months.
Don't do it. It's horrible all the time.
So, yes, PUBG Corp killing first person, third person only in SEA and OC, because I don't know why. I suppose the numbers support third person being more popular.
Probably.
I can't imagine why the fuck it would be in a game like this, but that's where we are. So
there you go. PUBG's now
I blame
exclusively
you.
third person. Blame me. It's because I wasn't playing PUBG.
Unless you want to play
regularly.
squads. Unless you want to play squads only.
Yeah.
Then you can play first person.
Oh, okay. Well, now we'll have to go back and make a PUBG video. Only first person, only squads.
What do you want to move to next?
Well, you know what? It is about that time. It's about that time for an ad read.
Oh, is it? Do you want a cup of coffee that'll give you the power to actually use your indicators when merging? I see what you did, you motherfucker. I see what you did.
What?
I had the script open in front of me when you changed this. I watched you change everything. I was like, the fuck is he doing? And then I saw you add your bit at the end that I will let you get to eventually. And that will explain what I'm yelling about. Wrong, cat.
Would you like a cup of coffee that will give you creative ideas for your videos en masse?
I don't do videos, so that's more something for you than me. Would you like a cup of coffee that'll keep you awake enough at night that you remember to set your alarm so you aren't 2 hours late to your own podcast?
Would you like a cup of coffee that can take you from saying, do you want to, would you like in ad reads without anyone noticing? You know what's even better?
You know
like, what's even better? I'm almost certain that I wrote the fucking the alarm and the indicator joke. I'm almost certain, like they were copy pasted ahead.
Which the alarm and indicator?
Did you write
joke?
those ones?
No, I did.
Fuck, man.
I wrote them.
Am I having fucking deja vu?
I went home to fucking do the podcast, and I was like, fuck, I gotta smash this script out. So I sat there and did my jokes, wrote all the other bullshit in, wrote an intro that you've rudely deleted, and then I fucking waited. I did my jokes, I did everything. I was sitting there waiting for you to hear back from you.
There you go. Yeah, so Killer Coffee will do that. Killer Coffee will do that. He'll actually do that. Yep, Killer Coffee will do that. None of the disclaimer this week. It will do that. It will give you the power to fight a bear entirely made out of lightning. Don't worry.
Except for the last one, because I did notice.
Yeah, there you go. It'll almost do it.
It'll definitely keep you fucking awake though. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about a couple of things. Big things. Twitch. All right. Two huge things happening very recently. One, DMCA's second wave, causing a big splash in the Twitch community.
DMCA 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm. And AOC played Among Us. Now, I'm going to talk about the AOC situation very quickly because the AOC situation is very interesting from a non-politico standpoint because politics and I get along about as well as vanilla ice cream and ketchup. But the story goes, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I believe. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. Is a senator in the US. She is big in the Twitter sphere because she posted that she made Silver 4 in League of Legends. On her Twitter feed, and she was super proud of it. And people were like, yo, what the hell? AOC is a gamer. And by the way, the silver AOC, you scrub, get good. But huge deal, right? Having a quote-unquote gamer in Congress. And she said over the weekend, or just past, she goes, hey, does anyone want to play Among Us? So she got together with a bunch of huge streamers. Pokimane, Hassan was involved, Toast, like a lot of the offline TV guys were there. Dr. Lupo was there. One of my favorites was Corpse Husband, who was like a big YouTuber ever since like blew up with Among Us. He was also playing in the games. So there was some guy just in all caps called Corpse playing with two politicians, which I thought was a bit... Like, I would have thought that their teams would have been like... Yeah, he's just called Corpse. And he has a ridiculously deep voice. He'll come into the lobby, he's like, hey guys, I'm the imposter. Brr. Like, very, very low. And I would have thought their team would be like, oh, no, you can't associate with people like that. But nope, they just got in and played the game and had a good time. And it was really, really good. It was so good, in fact, that it is the third largest Twitch stream of all time. Did you know that?
No.
So the largest Twitch streams to date were the Shroud Return stream, which was about 500, and then the Ninja and Drake stream, which was more than 600,000. But she peaked at 435,000 viewers around the time of her first match. Yeah, it was nuts. She'd never played Among Us before. She'd never streamed on Twitch before. She's also got the fastest partnership of all time. Twitch partnered her before her stream. And it was insane. It was huge.
They'd be silly not to. She's like a well-known.
Yeah, exactly. So they did that, and not only was it massive, but she was redirecting all of the traffic to the Vote website, like the register to vote, because... In America, it's not mandatory. Over here, it's mandatory, so you get fined if you don't vote. But over in the States, not mandatory, so you have to sign up to vote. And it's got the most traffic it's ever had, I think, in like a short window of time, was just her redirecting people from her Twitch stream, sending them to the Vote website. So huge things for Twitch. I wonder if we'll see responses from other political parties, which I'm concerned about because I really don't want to receive political ads in a very niche gaming sphere, but, you
will.
Is what it is.
Of course you will.
Yeah, is what it is. The two really strange things came up out of this. One is a orange is sus meme. So you know the is sus meme that came up with So specifically orange is sus. So what they would do is they'd go orange is sus and take the orange Among Us crewmate and put Donald Trump's hair on top of it. So it was like a dig at Trump by saying Oompa Loompa is sus. Became a really, really big thing, right? And then that meme then spawned a retaliatory campaign from pro-Trump supporters where they would enter Among Us lobbies and spam subscribe to this guy Eris something, right? To the point where Among Us had to put out a Twitter statement saying use private lobbies, don't use public lobbies. Like it was nuts. It was ridiculous. It was it very reminiscent of the subscribe to PewDiePie phenomenon. So you saw this weird moment where Among Us, which is a party game, right, became this vehicle for political bloody campaigning. And it was one of the strangest things I'd ever seen. So one, third biggest stream of all time. Two, spawned a meme, orange is sus. Three, meme then resulted in a subsequent political campaign that is also a meme.
Well, I think the is sus meme already existed. It's just now they're like, they found a way to tie it to Trump.
What?
That's all.
Could you imagine a world where an Australian PM did something like this? Who would you?
No, because they're all stupid. They're all too dumb for that, man.
Would you ever play like PUBG with a public figure, like a news reporter or like a politician of some description?
Look, there is actually a guy here. His name's Aaron Stonehouse. Mm-hmm. He's actually pretty. He's only 30 years old, man. He's younger than me.
Yeah.
He's Liberal Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a few cool bits and pieces. Like he's trying to get airsoft. He's trying to figure out why airsoft is banned in the first place. Why are airsoft guns considered firearms, like firearms that need to be registered, but also they're banned? Like no one, cops don't want to answer anything to do with it. They just don't want to. They don't want to know about it at all.
Yeah.
Same with gel ball blasters. People keep sending letters to like police ministers and stuff here asking like, are gel ball blasters illegal or not? And they keep getting different responses. Like this year so far, they've had, they're banned, don't buy them. And they've also had, they're not firearms, we don't care, just whatever. Just don't like be an idiot with them and you'll be fine. Anyway, he's done a few things. Like one he did was he organized a ride. He got a whole bunch of people to go on a bike ride from fucking point A to point B. I can't remember where the fuck it was. But anyway, it was a protest for the helmet laws. Because it's illegal to not be riding a bike around like a pushy without be riding one without a helmet.
Yeah.
So he organized a ride where everyone was wearing no helmet, including himself.
Did they get fined?
Nope. No. Nothing happened.
Yeah, right.
It's so dumb though. Like I used to ride around all the time and never wore a fucking helmet. The amount of time cops saw me and didn't give a shit. They don't care. Yeah, neither should they.
It's this
crime. Really, like a crime should have a victim. You should be hurting somebody. I think like it should have a negative effect on someone else for it to be a crime, something that's punishable.
We are
who the fuck am I
entering my wheelhouse?
Good. Who am I? Who else am I hurting by riding a push bike around without a helmet?
Yeah. So there is a lot of theory that goes
to answer your question, him. Because I feel like I'd have a lot to fucking talk about. I would play fucking PUBG or something else with him and then just talk garbage and politics and shit the whole time.
Yeah, I think if I had to play like games, I say had to, if I got the opportunity to play games with like the president of the Queensland Law Society, I'd be pretty stoked. Or if I got to play Among Us with Kirby, the retired High Court Justice, oh man, that would be awesome. We'd have a great time. But so there's this idea in law, by the way, this is a strong left turn here. For those of you first tuning in, my real life job is I'm a lawyer. I'm a criminal defense lawyer and I work in Queensland. So there's these ideas in like legal theory in that why laws are laws and what laws you should abide by, or what they're made for. So there's certain laws that are made in the interests of the public, or like public policy considerations is one of the things, or one of the reasons you can make a law. For instance, wearing a seatbelt, right? You fine people for not wearing a seatbelt because if they don't wear seatbelts then they die. So it's for their own good that they wear seatbelts, and to encourage that behavior, we're going to fine them if they don't. That's the same logic applied to the helmet rule, but it fails this idea of like, well,
so
who else are they hurting?
We also have why shouldn't we also have smoking illegal? Because that actually does hurt. Like, so I know secondhand smoke is such a pathetic thing to complain about.
Yeah,
it does harm other people in close vicinity.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can trigger. You can make asthmatics fuck up. You can. Like, there's all sorts of dumb shit that causes.
And Australia has some of the tightest laws around smoking known to man.
Yeah,
like, good luck finding a place to have a cigarette outside of your own house nowadays.
Oh, dude,
like,
city's ridiculous. You pretty much have to like. It's hilarious during winter because you see people like coming out of like pubs or whatever, like, or fucking wherever in the city, and they're just standing out in the street, shivering, fucking lighting up, like, gotta have me fucking city. It's fucking freezing.
Yeah,
but they have to have that smoke.
You can't tell if it's the temperature or the nicotine withdrawals that are doing it to them. But yeah, it's both. Yeah, there's like a lot of this sort of stuff comes up. It comes up a lot. Like, there's theories like how it's like a law that's not enforced is no law at all. There's a bunch of stupid laws in Australia. Like a bunch of stupid laws. There's like, you want to have a bit of a laugh and also a bit of a cringe. Look up the prostitution legislation in Queensland. Like, you can work in an organization, a licensed brothel, like after you're 18, but you like, look, it's been forever since I've seen how the laws exactly interact, but the end result is this weird legislative loophole where as a 17-year-old, you can't work in a brothel, but you can run your own sex business.
Oh, so you can own and operate one.
Yeah, so you can own and operate, but you can't be an employee. Yeah, I'd have to go and have a look at it.
That's the preferable job anyway, isn't it?
Well, I mean, there's safety and health argument, blah, blah, I'm not going to get into it. But the point is, the current way that the law is structured, there's a technicality, there's a loophole where you can own and operate as a sole operator, but not as an employee. Another really good one for this sort of topic that I find really interesting is there is 2 offences for drug driving in Queensland, right? So much while driving under the influence of liquor is an offence, and rightly so, right? Once you're above 0.05, your reaction speed takes a nosedive, and that's why they do it, right? The high range drink drive is like 0.15. I think at that point, your reaction speed is like, it's something ridiculous, like a 20th or a 30th of what it usually is.
Super slow.
Oh, excuse me. I should say 20 or 30 times, not 20th or 30th. That'd be fucking lightning fast. But yeah, really.
Mate, you've been fucking slamming the killer coffees down.
Yeah, so
that quick.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, it's reaction speed that does it. Not to mention the fact that you're just not paying attention and drifting, but reaction speed is the one that they rely on. There is legislation for drug driving. So if you're under the influence of an illicit substance, you cannot be operating a vehicle, right? This is more of a blanket statement because obviously the effect that marijuana will have on your driving is significantly different to the effect that, say, methamphetamine will have. There's an argument that methamphetamine would actually make you a better driver. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Depends. I mean, are we talking in terms of like just raising your reaction speed, or are we talking about so much that you start hallucinating and like?
Well,
I'd imagine that would make your driving a lot more difficult if you're seeing things on the road that aren't there.
Yeah, I don't think methamphetamine is ordinarily a hallucinogen. I think like if you took LSD and you were driving, that's a problem.
I don't know enough about drugs.
Oh, look, it depends on the person as well. You can get drug-induced psychosis and all sorts of stuff. Like, there's drugs that will, like, manifest issues with like schizophrenia or make them worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in any event, right? There is a charge for driving under the influence of one of those drugs. So if you're presently affected by that substance and you are driving, that is illegal, right? However, there is also an offense for having that drug in your system and driving, right? Now, the difference between the two is that you may not necessarily be under the influence of said substance. However, it may still be in your blood and or saliva. A very good example is cannabis, right? Cannabis will stay in your saliva for like 7 days. It's pretty nuts. It depends on the person, depends on your metabolism, depends on the strain. I know that if people listen to it, they're going to be like, that's bullshit, Viscerus. It only stays in your saliva for 3 days. It only stays there for 2 weeks. Well, fuck it. It changes from person to person. I know because I've seen it multiple times. Like, it changes from person to person. Like, people will come in and they're like, man, I'm so glad they didn't charge me with having it in my system because I got blasted on X day. So I've seen it a few times. But the point I'm trying to make is it's a law against driving with it in your system, even though you're not presently affected by the substance. So it creates this issue where it's like, yeah, you're back completely sober, you know, and driving the vehicle, much as if you had never had the drug in the first place, but you're still being persecuted for it. Like, you're still driving responsibly. You just happen to have taken illicit drugs a week earlier. So there's these issues as to whether it should be a law, whether it's discriminatory, whether it's, you know, revenue raising, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I would argue, like, if someone gets fucking stoned out of their mind and then 2 days later, they're perfectly fine, they're driving, but it's still in the system, are they more of a danger than the person who is driving to the chemist because they have a fucking mad migraine and they need something to deal with that? They, I would argue, are more distracted and more of a danger on the road than the guy who, you know,
yeah, so there's
got stoned 2 days ago.
Yeah, so exactly why stuff is illegal is a big topic of discussion. It's like there's books on it, fucking, like, you know, the size of my forearm. And that's like, one of the big ones.
I don't touch anything because, firstly, I just find that it's like, well, I have smoked weed before, but I feel like it's too expensive to make a habit out of. It's something that's just like, I would never, even if I wouldn't get fired from my job, if they caught me with it in my system, it would be instant dismissal because I drive a forklift and other shit. So it's like,
yeah, then you lose
machinery
your
operator.
And stuff.
Yeah, you lose your license and you instantly out of a fucking job. Even if that wasn't the case, I just don't like. I have other things that I'd rather spend my money on, so I'm not huge
it's a financial
into that stuff,
consideration. They're like, hey, Jim, you're so straight edge. How come you never smoke weed? And you're like, bruh, I got games to buy. I gotta get a shock mount.
I got more upgrades that I want. Every time I buy that shit,
I have to spend it on freaking V-Bucks so that I can get my cool new skin.
Fuck no.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a whole thing about it. I think, I think eventually it would probably could lead to a situation where it gets legalized.
I think some people are getting the wrong idea about it though. When all the people screaming to have it legalized and decriminalization, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, that's fine, but
yeah,
I don't know how many of them understand that businesses would still be allowed to say if you do this in your spare time, you still are unable to you're unable to hold these jobs because it's too much of a risk. Well, same way that if I was on certain medications, I wouldn't be allowed to do my job.
Yeah,
because there's too big of a chance that I'll be not 100% focused on what I'm doing. I'm going to drive a forklift, into the side of a truck or fucking
it's same reason why you can't be a pilot if you're a certain height. Like, I mean, well, actually, no, that's probably a bad example. That's a physical thing.
I know someone who is one, and there are some really weird, like, I haven't known them for very long, but hearing like all the strange restrictions that are on pilots, like there's some stuff that you wouldn't even think about, but once you find out, it's like, I guess that makes sense. Like,
yeah, I know height's one of them. They can't be over a certain height.
Above?
Yeah, because the plane cabin won't fit them, but also because G-forces hit them harder if they're taller.
Well, apparently also, like certain mental health issues, they're no longer allowed to fly a plane because it's too big of a risk that they'll fucking aim for a building or something.
After, what's his name? Sky
the
King,
airline.
the guy that was the air traffic
No,
controller.
it's an old. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but no, it's been around for a long time. Apparently, they're only just starting to ease up on it. But yeah, they don't want to be liable for that.
Well, that's fair enough.
I mean, I'd like to say that it's they're really concerned about loss of life, blah blah blah, but really they just don't want to have to pay for that. It's going to cost them a lot of fucking money.
That's billions of dollars. Yeah. That's
reputation
huge,
they'll never
huge
recover.
issue. Yeah. So
just imagine the headline: Qantas pilot flies 747 into Sydney Opera House.
God damn.
I think they'd ever live that one down.
Yeah. No. That's not going to happen. So there you go. That's how playing with politicians in Among Us can lead to why pilots don't fly planes.
All sorts of fucking discussions.
Yeah, well, that was a wiggly tangent right there.
Well, I mean, you've had to expect though asking a question like that.
That's true. Bringing us back on the straight and narrow, the 2-time. I don't know if that's exactly the straight and narrow. We still don't know what happened to Doc. We still don't know the reason for the ban. He's still streaming on YouTube and crushing it. He's got like an event at the moment called Doctober where people are submitting like cosplays of them being the Doctor, dressing up for like Halloween and stuff. There's this awesome video of a kid and his dad messing around in his like Doc costume. It's fantastic. I should send it to you. But in really big news for him, Rogue Company, which is a new third-person perspective game, and sort of we kind of touched on when we were talking about the PUBG game, fully made a map, which is the arena, which is the fictional, shut up, Alex, it's actually real, fictional.
Did they make it, or did they let him make it?
Here's the thing. The way that it was put forward is, so to give you obviously but to break it down for the audience, basically the doc was talking about map making on Twitter, and he got because the guy that plays the doc, Guy Bream, used to be a map designer for Call of Duty, and
he said his name wrong.
What's his name? Guy Beam.
Beam.
Yeah. I said Bream. Beam. Yeah, he used to be a map designer for COD. And he was talking about how maps were kind of shitty for Valorant, I think. And then Rogue Company came along and they were like, hey, design a map for us and we'll put it in the game. You have 24 hours. And then the doc was like, haha, okay. And then he actually designed the map. And then Rogue Company actually followed through and made the map, which is now the arena. So the layout is what the doc designed. And then they added all the flair, of course. And it's hilarious. Have you seen some of the walkarounds of the map?
No.
It's really good. They've added a bunch of really good Easter eggs. Like they've got a recording room where it's got his setup and they've got the lights, like the Elgato key lights and all that sort of shit set up. They've got one where like you can hear Alex talking in the background. They've got violence, speed, momentum merchandise all throughout the arena and stuff. It's really, really cool. It's really, really well done. And they also added in the doc as a playable character with voice lines, the likeness, everything. And might I add, a dance emote, which is the same dance that he had in his intro for the Twitch Awards. You know, where he's like kind of bent over and shaking his arms towards the ground?
So weird.
Yeah. So now you can play as the doc in the arena and do the dance and hear him talk. And it's one of the first times I've ever seen, like, obviously content creator implementation's not entirely new, right? Rainbow Six Siege has been adding charms to guns for creators, skins for creators, CSGO, PUBG, all had skins. Fortnite, of course, put Loser Fruit and Ninja in as actual playable characters. But this is the first time I think I've ever seen a map added in as far as content creator implementation, or so widespread. It's like, yeah, this is Dr. Disrespect. And it's forming a major pull for that game, I think. Like, the doc's playing it on stream, people are checking it out, and it's so ludicrous, I think people are going and actually, like, buying the skins and stuff. Like, it's good tongue-in-cheek, I think is the best way to put it. I really like this style of game design. I love the fact that Rogue Company put the doc in their game for the same reason that I love Payday 2 as a game overall. Like, it doesn't take itself incredibly seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it knows how to have fun. Yeah. Like, that's just so incredible to see. Have you seen much of the footage about it?
About his map? I think I've seen I've seen some screenshots a while back.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, there's I'm pretty sure that there is there's a part in the arena where they list like a bunch of like records, and the names of his editors and social media team are on there as well. Like peace pigeons on the friggin' on the board with all the names. I was like, Pog, it's peace pigeon. So good. Let's see.
Isn't that that's his editor that you were frothing over a little while ago, wasn't it?
Peace pigeons. Yeah, it's insane. It's nuts. Let's see what else is it. Okay, I'm having a look here. So they've got the layout of the arena. They've got like a skin for the 2-time. I'm trying to find like screenshots for it. The arena Rogue Company.
All I could find before when I was looking was his concept stuff.
Yeah, no. So there's the concept of the map that he did, which by the way was done up with a proper graphic designer. Like, that looks insane.
Have you seen him do that stuff on stream before? I've seen clips of him doing that shit on stream.
Yeah,
he's really quick with it. Like,
yeah, I wonder. Like,
I guess
because he draws it with a pen or what. But yeah,
no, he was doing it with mouse. It's just like he knows sort of what he wants it to look like, and he just quickly like smashes it out.
Yeah, brings it
like
to life.
He has a very clear vision of what he wants in his head. He's not just like playing it by ear and just adding things and taking them away and whatever. He's
got a concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think certain map design elements will all come together and sort of like guide your idea. Like there's a big push towards asymmetrical map making nowadays, to make maps interesting. But I think that symmetrical map making is inherent in trying to make things work.
Well,
in like standard team
comments.
deathmatch game modes.
It's the only way to stop like some of the TDM maps in PUBG. They're very uneven because they are not symmetrical.
Yeah.
There is clearly one side that's better than the other, and if you get a like semi-decent team on that side holding that end of the map,
you'll just crush.
There's a pretty good chance that they'll win. Like you won't unless you can like get them off that side, then you're gonna lose. You need to kick them off that end of the map somehow. But it's better defending that end than it is, defending the other end. There's no reason to leave. I don't know. It's just uneven maps can be unbalanced. It feels weird to say that a map can be unbalanced, but that's how I feel about some of those like TDM like, and this is 4v4, so it kind of is that. Whereas I don't know. Yeah, the Call of Duty thing where like the map is symmetrical, that hasn't been the case for all maps. Like some of my favorite maps, Call of Duty, were not symmetrical at all.
No, but they tend to follow a 3-lane layout, which I think is good. I think 3-lane layout works really well. Yeah,
there's a reason that it's been there forever. It fucking works.
It allows you to flank. It allows you to move around. It's very, very. It's a good way of doing things. But the doc has a new map. We still don't know what happened to him. Maybe one day we'll find out. Maybe we'll never know. But crazy to think that that's still one of the industry's best kept secrets.
Yeah,
We still don't
I
know.
don't even know what to.
Speaking of bands, Ginny Tty got banned. You may not know who this person is. She is a in real life streamer. She is a wonderful Asian lady, and she does a lot of real life IRL streaming, as far as I can tell. Anyway, she received a ban because of the way that she'd been driving on her scooter. Right? Now, I have to tread carefully here because I don't want to make it seem like I'm overtly making the ha-ha Asian lady driving jokes. Okay? But basically what had happened was there'd been a bunch of clips that had surfaced where she had made fundamental errors in like driving, scooters or driving on roads, and Twitch banned her for it. Basically under the same banner of like illegal content. Like she crossed a road when there was a red light as opposed to a green light. She crossed across several lanes of traffic, nearly got hit by a car. So Twitch
You're doing something that's illegal.
Yeah, so Twitch banned her for a week. And the reaction to this was surprisingly muted. Like a lot of people were relatively disappointed, but a lot of people were like, yeah, if you kept going like that, she probably would have killed herself. Like somebody needed to wake her up to it because she didn't have a license either.
Oh,
I don't think she had a driver's license.
That in itself is...
Yeah. And there's certain scooters that are below a certain level of like certain CC, and then you can use them without needing a license. But I'm pretty sure that threshold's quite low. Like once you're at like 50 CCs or something, you have to get a license for it. In any event, she got banned, and the response was not outrage. It was relatively muted, which I thought was pretty interesting. That's a new experience for Twitch bans generally. Usually you get a whole bunch of people like, this ban was unjustified. Why would you ban this person if you didn't ban this person? It's like, whatever. Who cares? You got banned. I know Pink Sparkles got banned. I don't know why. Do you know who Pink Sparkles is?
No.
She's known for her great pair of personalities. And she dated Asmongold for a short period there.
Hang on. I have to look this. I need to see.
You'll
what
know
you're
immediately. You will know. You'll see the image and you'll go, ah.
Yeah, I've seen her before.
Yeah. So she got banned.
I've seen her before.
Don't know why. I don't think any information has come out since I looked yesterday. I'd have to double check, but she's been banned as well. Be interesting to talk about maybe next week. But what I found most interesting as far as Twitch clips go in the past 2 weeks, Jim, was a 15-second clip. And I don't know if you really looked through the script as to what my last point is, but it was a streamer who was held at gunpoint on stream. Like in real life, people broke into this dude's house and like pulled him off of his computer at gunpoint. It was insane.
I saw that. I figured you would just explain because I did not hear about this.
Yeah, so basically this dude, I forget what he was playing. He might have been playing Valorant. I'll punch it in real quick. I'm just going to go his name and then clip. Gun clip. Here we go. Streamer gets gun pointed at him IRL. Yeah, he's playing Valorant at the time. And he's kind of just stood off to this. He's just kind of like pushing onto a site, kind of moves towards ropes. And then he's checking some corners. He's just looking. Some dude comes in, frame left, rips off his headset, puts a gun in his face, like literally taps his forehead, and pulls him off stream. The guy's like, what the hell's going on? He like clearly looks shook up, takes his hands off his keyboard, stands up, right? Walks off to the side. Twitch chat saw this and they were like, holy shit, and called the cops. So then the cops went to this dude's house and saved him and his family. It was nuts. I hesitate to say it's a wholesome story because it's not really wholesome.
I'm gonna see if I can watch the clip. Is this the fuck? Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
I think I've got it.
Yeah. And so people
Jesus.
like, you'll know it. He's playing Valorant, and some guy like puts.
They point it right at his forehead. They're like, tap him in the forehead.
They tap him in the forehead at one point. Yeah. And so cops got sent over, and thankfully,
Jesus, dude,
they were able to stop it in progress and save this bloke's family. It was pretty insane.
I'm going to drop it in the I'll drop it in the podcast links because just in case anyone else can't find it themselves and wants to see it, it's going to be in podcast links.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't have a lot to say about this, mainly just because it kind of just explains itself, and it's such a niche scenario.
So I've copied and pasted link to this exact video, just the link from the page I was on, and look what it says: Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead. That's not the fucking article that I was on.
That's not the video.
Does it take you to the video though? Does it
Let's
take you to this or something else?
No, it takes you to.
It doesn't.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
That's not what I fucking copied or pasted, you assholes. What the fuck?
The bait and
Piss off.
switch.
I'm deleting that.
People are gonna see that in. No,
they're not because I deleted it.
Yeah. Right. And anyway,
already gone. Fuck that. What the fuck, man?
There you go.
Anyway,
giant week this week. Is there anything else that you want to cover?
Not really, man. I don't think so.
Not really.
Kind of just yeah. Look, moving house is fucking shitty, and I got to do it again soonish. So it was a fucking. It's not hard to set everything up that I have. It is just very time consuming. Like I sent you a picture of all that shit that I had done, which was just the monitors on the stands and the two PCs underneath. None of the cables were done yet.
Yeah.
Just doing all that shit took me about half hour or something to put all the desks up and try and get all the monitor stands in the right place and like bullshit. The cabling stuff took me a solid couple of hours because my audio routing is fucking intense. The only way I can do anything about all this shit though is like, there's things that I can't. I know there's people who say, "Oh, Go XLR, get a Go XLR." It can't replace everything that I have set up here, and I see too many people having issues with them, with like the motorized faders and fucking driver issues. I don't want that. I don't want any of that shit.
Yeah.
This way, when something fails, I can pinpoint it and fix it myself. It's not all internal of this one machine. When that machine fails, like, all right, well, now I got to replace this machine. This is like the argument of consoles versus PC. Your graphics card dies in your PC, you get a new graphics card. Your graphics card starts playing, like the graphics in your console start playing up, rip, throw the fucking thing away and get another one.
God damn.
I don't want that. It's just so surprising to me that so many PC people are like, yeah, let's get the audio equivalent of a console instead of, you know, what the whole reason we're using PC is to have them like modular shit, but we're going to go backwards on their audio. I don't know. There's a mini fucking rant. There's something to bring up.
There you go. That's the thing.
You asked me, so I'm fucking telling you.
There you go. Well, I had a look at the video. There's no comments this week. So we're straight out of it.
Other week. Yeah.
Yeah. But all in all, if you guys want to check out the podcast, you can. NULLSCORE at YouTube. You can also find us on Twitch and or YouTube. I've noticed that you've changed the link. Appreciate it. Twitch.tv/T1TAN5150 or youtube.com/C/Viscerus. You can also catch us at Twitter at Titan_5150 and at Viscerus TV. Anything you want to mention before we jump on out, Jim?
That was the thing that I wanted to mention.
There you go.
Go XLRs are basically consoles for audio noobs.
Well, enjoy your Go XLR, man. We will catch the rest of you guys next time. Sorry for missing a week, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I wonder how many Go XLR people I've just upset.
Oh, there's be a lot of attack helicopters that are going to come.
Bro, they're so good. They're just so yeah. It's going to be the immediate thing is always like, you just can't afford one.
Yeah, you can't
dude,
afford it. But Harris Heller said it was the best mixer ever.
They're good because they're simple. They don't require as much fucking cabling. Like the routing's all mostly done internally.
Yeah.
And if I couldn't afford one, why would I have spent more than what one of those is worth on audio equipment here?
Yeah.
The stuff I have has cost me more than a Go XLR would have.
Go XLR has everything that you need for a streamer, possibly in one package, done up in an incredibly gamer-esque design. Like it's very
Depending
good.
on your setup, yes.
It's a great product. It also just costs a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Like there's other
It's a good
ways
bit
of
of
doing
gear.
those things. Yeah.
For sure, it's a good bit of gear, but for what I am doing, it would not be enough. It would not allow me to do what I have set up here.
Yeah. No. So Go
And
XLR
also-
is garbage. Harris Hiller fanboys come at me.
Fuck, it's not garbage. It's just it's just fun to shit on. It's just fun to shit on like people who buy the simpler option just because someone else suggested it, instead of doing a bit of research and going, do I actually want? Is this actually going to work for me?
All right. Can hit the big red button.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.